I guess you could say I'm Southman, aka Bravo. Well, I used to be called Bravo 45th. But I want to kind of make this video to talk about the Fallout film that we're making. It is, as a recap, real quick, I think I've explained it, I'll say it a couple of times. It's a post, meaning taking after the Fallout 2 video game in the year 2257, 16 years after the original Fallout 2 game. Um, and it is following the story of the Chosen One after the events of the game. And it takes place where he's looking for somebody close to him, and it's taking him all the way to what do you call it, Oklahoma. He's tracking down a in fact, I have that. I can show you who they are. Oh, by the way, Enclave flag in the background. Here's some of my Fallout proppies stuff on the top here. I need to organize things. I don't know if I have it here. Oh, yeah, right here. He's tracking down these guys. It's not. It needs to be. Let me see if I can revert it and show you. The 13 Dusters is the name of the raider group in our Fallout film, and the Chosen One's tracking them down because somebody dared to him. And by the way, here's more extra of my props. Whoops, don't want to drop that. Sorry, I need to clean up the area a little bit. But Sunset Sarsaparilla bottle. Obviously, the Pepsi can's not a part of the props. There's actually another Nuka-Cola bottle back there. Nuka Wild. We got the Quantum, in which is cool. I'll show you real quick. I know I'm getting really sidetracked here, but oh, look at that! Ooh, cool. You need to change the colors, make it blue. That's pretty cool. We'll probably use that. More based off the Fallout 3 game, Nuka-Cola label. And then there's the label, a Vault Boy duck, that which will appear in the fam. Welcome to, fabulous New Vegas. It was a mug I found for free. Nuka-Cola. And I just taped it up. Hello, Jolly. Caps. Staff. So I know I'm getting a little distracted because I was going to tell you. Oh, yeah, by the way, that's pork and beans prop. Turn into caps. Emergency water. The latest, which I'm really excited, is Sugar Bombs box. Looks so legit. Looks so awesome. Some of our posters here. We actually will use that. Hello. We got Raised by Robots. Mr. Handy makes an excellent caretaker. Sounds like somebody made a stinky. That's actually am I saying that? Cosworth? Yeah, Cosworth and Fallout 4 says that, and so we just put that quote on that. This is based on a public domain image, and then I just put Mr. Handy in there, image, and then just did that. It looks kind of legit. Willie Rogers is one of the characters in our film. He's hosting a tryout musical event, so that's one of the things. Here's your Sugar Bombs paper. We may use it as a little poster on the wall, maybe. And then, of course, and this stuff doesn't belong to me, by the way. I don't know how I'm going to cite all this at once because it's a live video. But just to let you know, none of this stuff really fully belongs to me. But that's pretty cool. Random. No, I'm just kidding. That's not part of the movie. Oh, yeah, this is pretty cool. I'll show you this. Sorry, it's kind of a mess here. This is actually one of our unique factions in the film. The I-40 Patrol, and they're connected to like the I-40 highway patrol in Oklahoma. That's where their connection is. So it's pretty cool, pretty cool. I still making a little bit of props. There's our cat up there. There's cat meat on the top there. Thank you, appreciate. Well, anyway, the main reason I'm making this video is I just kind of want to rehash again what the Fallout film is about. It's a post. If you're just starting to watch this, it's a post Fallout 2 story. So it takes place 16 years after 2257, 16 years after the events of Fallout 2, which would make that 2241. And it follows the Chosen One character and his story, continues story, and he's looking for somebody close to him, and he's following that raider group called the 13 Dusters all the way to Oklahoma. So it's a post story. And I mention this because there may be some fans that like Fallout 2 and might wonder, am I going to do anything in the story that quote unquote, and it's just silly even addressing this, that cancels out everything you know from the previous playthrough, right? Like from Fallout 2. Am I doing things that would, what's the word? Recon, like kind of like just totally cancel out. And okay, for first off, this is a fan made film. And so everything's can be considered head canon or fan canon. So even though I'm making a film based on the Chosen One and his story after the events of the game, it's obviously not officially canon. And I'm only mentioning this because we had one comment. It was silly, but I understand where maybe they're coming from. The Fallout show has bothered some people because they've worried it's screwed up some of the continuity and the history and stuff, and I can understand that. But our film is not to be associated with the show. Hey, if we were working for Amazon, I love the joke Jolly was making. I can't wait for my Amazon check, but we're not working for Amazon. We're just our amateur films. You've already seen my channel if you followed it. All these are amateur films. So it's just head canon, it's head stuff. This doesn't mean that this is actually going to be considered official canon. That would be cool if it did, but I highly doubt that. So all of this is just kind of our own fan made stuff, if that makes sense. Looks like we're losing people pretty quick here for some reason, and that's fine. But it's just that all of it's just kind of fan stuff. It's not connected to canon. It won't affect the canon. I have no connections to Bastidia or to Todd or for Amazon. I'm just my own thing, right? Which at the beginning of the film, it would probably be very important. If I state that and say, hey, it's funny how we're losing everybody. Everybody's like, oh, this guy's boring, I guess. That's fine. There's things to do. People have lives. But the thing is, like, I really want this to realize this is just kind of like a fan made thing. You know what I mean? And we're passionate about Fallout. Um, but hello. But I will tell you that my 2 cents about this thing, about the Fallout film, is I about the lore and realizing what come before about the Chosen One, Vault 13, all these different things. I am doing the research. I'm taking the time. I'm reading Fallout Wikipedia and then the other Fallout Wikipedia independents. So I'm doing my research. I'm looking at YouTube videos and stuff that explains the lore of the Chosen One and the game and what came before. I'm actually even being so nerdy to look at the timeline that the events of our film take place, which is 2257, which nothing is really actually happening in that year, which is interesting. Other than it may be, it doesn't mean is a case. Um, it may be that there will be that Project Purity in the Fallout 3 games is happening the year of our film. And then I think the year after our film has the birth of the lone wanderer from Fallout 3, which is that weird awkward scene where you come out of your mother's you're born basically. So the thing is, there's not much happening in the film. We considered a lot of things about the factions, where they would be in our film. Like the NCR and Rangers haven't joined up together yet. So there's a character that's in our film that is we call him the Ranger of the Buffaloes, and I can't wait. I'm going to be filming with him soon this weekend, and we even considered that the eyepieces on his Ranger helmet, like in Fallout New Vegas, the Ranger helmet, it's green instead of red because the Desert Rangers, small little like difference, their eye colors, eyepieces were green, not red. It wasn't until the NCR and the Desert Rangers became one, and they became one group, that the Desert Rangers had the red, their outfits, their uniforms. There's not much difference to it, but there was some changes, and that was one of the changes. So we consider how, the Desert Rangers were a different kind of group, and he's just this one Desert Ranger that's kind of doing his own thing and has gone on his own journey, and it's unique. We even have a legionary soldier in it. Let me ask this question real quick: Are you ghoul, gang, or nah? I'm not sure what you mean. We have a ghoul in our film. Um, Willie Rogers. He's our radio DJ in the Oklahoma area, and he is putting out flyers for Willie Rogers tryout musical event. He's trying to recruit people to do cover songs for the radio station, Okie News Radio. So, and that's our actor that's been playing that. He's done an excellent job at being Willie Rogers and doing some voice acting for it. So we do have feral ghouls that are going to be in the film. You're going to either hear them, you're going to hear them, and you're going to see some of them too. So we're keeping that in account. But yeah, we're just trying to respect the lore. I've thought about the Desert Ranger deal. Even there's a legionary soldier in it, but we call him the legionary deserter, and he deserted Kaiser, but he's kind of still indoctrinated in Kaiser. And I meet him and I bump into him. We've already filmed those scenes, but I've considered where maybe the Legion's Caesar's or Kaiser's Legion would be at the time. And right now they're already battling probably in Arizona and going into New Mexico and possibly beyond that, but they're fighting the tribes. So that war's going on. They're causing problems for the Desert Rangers. They're starting to become a threat, and it's going to eventually lead. I think it's 2270. Don't quote me on 2271, which is way after our film, is when the NCR and the Desert Rangers become one. So that hasn't happened yet. So we're just aware of these things. Our lines kind of allude to this stuff, and we get into it. So we're trying to respect the lore, but at the same time, we have our own lore for Oklahoma because we're in a new location. Oklahoma is a whole new thing. And if you saw some of my props over there, you will see that some of it's like the style is based on. And I'll show a prime example of that. So this is kind of based on the labels of the Fallout 3 Nuka Cola, right? But if you look at, I can move things around without breaking stuff. If you look at this is based on the Nuka Cola label of Fallout 4. And then, of course, this is the Sunset Sarsaparilla, which is unique to New Vegas. And I have my own touch, I have my own creativity to it, but the whole point is you got two different Nuka Cola designs. I thought that in so far the Fallout universe has had all these different styles. So wouldn't it not make sense, or would it make sense for there to be different styles existing in the universe based on the older games and newer games mixed together? Does that make sense? So I thought even about that kind of stuff. Again, none of this is official lore. It's just fan kind of thoughts. But I kind of blended this stuff together, and I thought that would be kind of cool to do it that style instead and just keeping it the same style. I really like the Fallout 3 though style to stuff, so I try to kind of replicate that a little bit even with the Sugar Bombs box. I think this is more Fallout 3 than Fallout 4 style. But and I also, I'm creative with it where I'm putting my own paint, my own weathering techniques to it where it looks unique to the universe. But there's also stuff that are not of the universe that you're used to. These are new little things. We call it little Stinpacks. And this was our lore is we say this was produced by Vault-Tec, but they were specifically only produced, I guess, in certain areas like Oklahoma. And instead of like a normal Stinpack, that's how the little Stinpack. But little Stinpacks are interesting because one, they were created by Vault-Tec opposed to a regular Stinpack. I don't think regular Stimpak's created by Vault-Tec. I forget the company name for the Stimpak, but Vault-Tec created this, and it is not a normal Stimpak. It has a little extra ingredients in there that does something extra that makes this, I would say, maybe the king of Stimpaks because this just does something totally different. I'm keeping quiet on what it does and keeping you on your seat, but yeah, um, that those are just some examples of stuff we've considered. We got new lore, you got old lore. We just I don't know. We're creating our own stuff, but all this is fan made. It's fan canon. It's not official, obviously. So you can take it or leave it. Be like, oh, that was a stupid idea. Why do you do that? Well, that's fine. But it's just our kind of our own thing. You know what I mean? I guess that puts a healthy thought in what we're doing here. Um, but yeah, I can't wait to show you guys the film. We recently uploaded, speaking of this channel, we recently uploaded Black River, episode 1, the pilot. I hope that you watched that and I hope you liked it. That one was a part of the Southman universe, which is separate than Fallout universe. It's our own apocalyptic universe, but you should watch it. So I thought it was a pretty decent first episode, and we have 4 episodes total for that series, so it's going to be a smaller series. And then after Black River, we're working on another project that exists in that same universe. But you're like, well, what about the Fallout film you're making? You're getting excited about that. Well, this things take time. I got to film this. I don't have cameramen really. It's just kind of like me putting stuff on a tripod. I'm kind of doing a lot of the directing. It just takes time. It's a lot of baby steps getting stuff filmed, and most of the time I'm just doing it on my own. I'm filming myself on my own on tripods without um, help or little help. We do have a lot of help, but we're getting the help from like voice acting and people from a distance, which is all great and very helpful. But the only one that we're having as a physical actor so far has been the Legionary Soldier and the Ranger that's coming up here. So it's just going to take time. I think when I put the previews out there, I said 2025, but what I should have said is the film is being filmed in 2020. I mean, that's just kind of wordy to say that, but the film is being filmed this year in 2025, and it's very likely that I won't get to editing the film into the year 2026. I want to be realistic with you guys and not be like, hey, I'm filming this and I'm going to release it at April 14 in 2026. That's just not realistic. I can't like put that deadline on something like this. I want it to be a good film and we're just going to take our time, and I'm really hoping in 2026, somewhere in 2026, I'll be able to release it. You guys will be able to enjoy it and watch it. And the film's going to be a little longer than most Fallout films that I've seen sometimes put on YouTube because I want it to be a full story, a full experience. So it's not going to be like something that's, I don't know, like only 14 minutes long or 8 minutes long. That doesn't do justice for this story. So I'm thinking more maybe this would be like 30 minutes long movie on YouTube or longer. So it's like an official movie. I've thought about the idea of cutting it into a series like I've done before, but I'm not really too hot about that idea. So I'm just going to kind of focus on this as a film, and it kind of will be involved with that. Well, you guys have a good day. Thank you for following my channel. I'm just really surprised when I do live videos that I actually getting some people watching it, which is pretty cool. I appreciate your support. I'm glad that I'm able to release some of the stuff I've been releasing, and it has been a fun journey getting into this Fallout universe and creating our own little thing also with it. You guys have a good one. If I can figure out how to, if I can figure out how to end it, well, that's the thing. I don't even know how to end it. How do I end it? Oh, there we go.